Hi friends, welcome to my channel, and today in this video I am going to show you how to transfer Fsmo role when the main domain controller is down or offline. So let's talk something about Fsmo role. So Fsmo role is the main 5 role on which active directory forest works. So we have total 5 Fsmo role, which is schema master, domain naming master, read master, pdc, infrastructure master. So as you can see in a screenshot, 2 roles are working on a forest level and 3 roles are working on domain level. So it means something like if you have more than 2 domain in a forest, so you must have read pdc and such a master as on your domain level. Like I have a main forest which is microsoft.com, and I have two domain in my forest, like iron.microsoft.com and us.microsoft.com. So we have a total 2 forest file Fsmo role, which is schema master, and domain master, which is common for both the iron.microsoft or us.microsoft.com domain. And we have a separate read pdc and infrastructure master in both the domain, like us.microsoft.com and india.microsoft.com. So then we have total you can say 8 role, and 3 for domain for us.microsoft.com and 3 for iron.microsoft.com. So we have 6 domain wide Fsmo role and 2 forest wide. So this is something about Fsmo role. So let's see what we have in this infrastructure. So why I'm going to transfer the role Fsmo role when the main domain controller is down. Like if I have one domain controller which is holding all the 5 role for the forest, and if the main domain controller goes down, then my active directory will not work anymore. So we have to reclaim our all 5 Fsmo role on any other domain controller. So for that, you must have any additional domain controller in your infrastructure which can take over the all 5 roles. So here is my infrastructure which I am going to use. We have total 4 virtual machine in this demo. So first, you can see this is my primary domain controller, which is win2k12dc01, and my domain name is victorinfosol.com. If you go here, you can see I have installed active directory dns role on this server. And if you go here, you can see domain controller primary terminal. Why it's saying domain controller primary? Because if I go on command prompt and type netdom query fsmo to check the Fsmo role, who is the owner of Fsmo. Oops, it's netdom query Fsmo. It will give the result who is taking care about the all 5 roles. So you can see win2k12dc01 is taking care about all 5 roles. That's why it's saying domain controller primary here. If you go here, active directory DNS role, and my second domain controller is win2k12dc01, and in the same domain you can see it's saying system type domain controller backup, because this is additional domain controller in my infrastructure. This is not currently holding any role which is related to Fsmo. If I go on tools, here you can see, if I go and change the domain controller, you can see my domain controller here, both the domain controller. Also if you go here on domain controllers, you can see my domain controller global catalog. So we have one primary domain controller and one secondary domain controller, and we have 2 Windows 8 client machine here. You can see win8 cl-cl01 and win8-cl02, and both are joined in my domain. If you go here, you can see these are joined in my victorinfosol by using the domain account, which is user01, and login server is win2k12dc01, because this is my primary domain controller. And if you go in DNS, you can see I have configured my both domain controller IP address 192.168.1.254, and my backup domain controller, which is additional domain controller 192.168.1.253. and same you can verify from here also. the this machine is cl02 is also joined in my domain. Logged in with the domain account which is user02. Login server is the primary domain controller, and the IP address details is given here. So this is infrastructure which I am going to use. In next video you can next slide you can see Fsmo role required credential and command. So this is something giving detail about the all the roles which require to be migrated when the primary server is goes down, primary active directory domain controller goes down. So you must have credential like credential to transfer the Fsmo roles or seize the Fsmo roles. So if you go here you can see domain naming master required enterprise admin, and schema master required schema admin rights, and rest 3 required basically domain administrative rights. So if you go on first slide you can see read PDC infrastructure master is a domain wide roles, that's why it's required domain administrative, and these are required forest level. So here we are. So we need to migrate all the roles. So before doing this, my currently my board domain controller is active and on the network. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just shut down my primary domain controller. So seems if you have like your primary server goes down, or some like you can say some human error or some disaster there. So anyhow your primary server is goes down, like you have some hardware issue, you have some hard drive issue in your server, and your primary server goes down, then you have to resume all the services to your secondary domain controller which is not holding currently any role. If we go here and now run netdom, query Fsmo, you're able to see all the 5 roles are still running on Win2K12 DC01 at the active directory level, but the server is not anymore on the network. So here you can see everything is still running uh, on like Win2K12 DC01, which is my primary domain controller, and due to this we can face issue on our active directory infrastructure like some issue related to client, users, or groups, anything. So what is my task here? Our task is to transfer the Fsmo role when main domain controller is down or offline. So to do this we need to transfer all the 5 roles. So from here DC01 to DC02. So if you go on to do this, I am going to use a command prompt, and here we need to type ntdsutil, which is basically new technology directory services utility. And if you go here you can always press question mark enter to check the what is all available commands. So here I want to click go for roles because I want to work with Fsmo role. Now we are at the Fsmo maintenance login, and now let's question mark, and here you can see connection, connect to a specified active directory domain controller or LDS instance. So I want to connect with the active directory servers where I want to transfer roles. So connections, and now you can see the connection and hit in question mark, and now you can see here connect to domain and connect to server, connect to server DNS name. So I want to connect to server DC02 because I want to transfer everything from DC01 to DC02. So type the name, we need to type connect to server Win2K12 dc02 and hit enter. Now you can see binding to Win2K12 DC02 and connected to server using the credential of a local logged user. So I am currently logged in by domain main account, which having the administrative rights at enterprise level. So if you want to check, that's I have logged in with this account. And if I go to properties and check the member of, you can see it's a administrator, domain admin, enterprise admin, schema admin. I have all the required rights, which I need to transfer the roles, these all 5 roles. So now if I go here, as my primary domain controller is down, launch the user active directory users and computers, and if I go here on victorinfosol.com domain and click on operation master, it will give you error at all the 3 roles, because we are currently not connected to our primary domain controller, which is Win2K12-DC01 in my case. So let's wait for it and see what's it's giving the information about the operations master roles. So it will take some time because the primary domain controller is not available, so it will take time to read the information because there was no response for DC01. Now you can see it's giving error everywhere on RAID, PDC, infrastructure, on all the roles. So what we need to do, we need to seize the role and transfer. So what is basically difference between seizing and transferring the role? Now if I go here and we need to like go to outside of this, and now if you go here on FSMO maintenance and click, you can see we have 2 options. The first option is saying to seize the roles, and second is transfer role. So what is basically difference between seizing the role and transferring the role? So basically seizing the roles, we can do this seizing for FSMO role when our primary domain controller is not available. So you can see here override infrastructure role on connected server, override PDC role on connected server. So basically we are connected to our Win2K12 DC02, and I am going to override the information in my active directory to use to assign the role to connected server and transfer. You can see here it's simple transferring role from one domain controller to another domain controller. So let's close everything and one more time check this nedum query fsmo to check the role status. So now I have to transfer the role one by one. So the first role which I am going to transfer is infrastructure master role. So let's type seize infrastructure master, hit enter, and here we have some warning. Are you sure want server this to seize the infrastructure role with the above value? Yes, I want. So click yes, and this will take some time. Here you can see attempting safe transfer to infrastructure FSMO before seizing. So it will take some time, and also this page will give you some error. We'll see once it's done. So please wait for the server to seize the role and transfer the role from Win2K12 GC01, our primary domain controller, to secondary domain controller, which is Win2K12 DC02. So wait for it. So here you can see now we have some warning, but infrastructure master role has been changed to win2get12 dc02, and basically you always receive these type of message when seizing the role. So let's check by nedum query fsmo that we have transferred the role successfully, infrastructure master role. So wait for it, and now you can see here we have infrastructure master role running on win2get12 dc02. The same way I'm going to transfer another role, which is domain naming master. So type the naming, seize naming master, hit enter. Yes, I want to do this. So in same way we need to transfer all the 5 roles from our this server to secondary server. So wait for it. So now you can see naming master is also transferred to win2get12, and now it's time to transfer the PDC. So I'm going to seize PDC. Yes, I want to seize this role, and here you can check the roles information. Now you can see we have domain naming master and infrastructure master role is running on win2get12 -dc02. So wait for PDC to be seized, and attempting to save transfer PDC fsmo. So PDC is moved. Now it's time to move the read. So seize read master, hit enter. Yes, I want to seize the role. Now it's moving the read master role. So read is also transferred. So now finally we need to transfer the schema master role. So now you can see all the 4 role is working on running on win2get12 -dc01. So let's transfer the last role. So we need to type the seize schema master, and this is the final role which we need to transfer or seize from win2get12 dc01, which is powered off now, to running domain controller, additional domain controller, which is basically existing as a backup, and now it will work as a primary domain controller. So we'll see that also. So wait for this. So now everything is transferred. Let's verify the final time. So now we have all the FSMO 5 role is running on win2get12 dc02, which is our backup server, and let's refresh this begin for to check the details are reflected or not. It's now you can see it's domain controller and saying primary terminal server, because we have transferred all the Active Directory roles, domain controller roles, to this server only. So to check this, so now you can see if I restart our client machine, you are still able to see that login server is a primary domain controller, existing primary domain controller, which is win2get12 dc02, because we have still domain information DNS address is like trying to map with the old one. So let's check once, then we can modify a few settings and we are good to go. So machine is rebooted, go here, login. Still it's login server win2get12 dc01. Let's also verify from refreshing the bg info. We'll see information is replicated or not. So now you can see if I click on apply, still it's saying login server win2get12 dc01, because In domain controller we have still DNS information which is connected with old domain controller. So here I'm going to change our DNS setting for client machine. So let's remove this and make this a primary. Oh, oops, we need to apply this. So remove this and apply. OK, and now if I refresh the setting, you can see this DNS update is done, but it's getting the DNS login server as win2kettle dc01. So what I'm going to do on my DNS server, go here, and I don't want the old server anymore, so I want to delete this entry for dc01 from my domain controller DNS. So everything's fine, and now restart this server, this client machine, to check the updated information coming or not, and login server is getting changed or not. And same, I want to go on change the IP address here, or just go and update. So on client 1 I have changed the domain DNS IP address. On this I have not changed the address like DNS address. So just run the again bginfo mark 2, and you can see it's still not fetching the DC2 address. So we need to change the DNS address on this machine also. So go here, and these users are basically not a local administrator, that's why it's asking for a credential. So remove this, and check the new setting is coming. So but the login server is still dc02. So let's verify on our win8-cl1 first. So I'm going to log in, and now you can see the login server has been changed, and the DNS address is also updated on win8-cl1 too. And same I'm going to do here, and just reboot this machine. IP address configuration is done. So wait for machine to restart. Let's log into win8-cl02. Now you can see the login server is changed on my second client machine as well as. So this is all about transferring the Fsmo roles when the main domain controller is down or offline. So thank you for watching, and please subscribe me for more videos. And if you have any query, any question related to this, please post me on my given mail IDs. Thank you once again. Bye bye.